Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to methodically observe a structural reality about modern life. We're not here to solve it. We're simply here to look at it clearly.
Let's start with a really stark observation. You rarely notice the exact moment something becomes normal. Think about it. The absence of an alarm doesn't mean a condition disappeared. It just means nothing feels wrong anymore. The condition is still fully present.
Part 1. The loss of detection.
The most profound changes in our lives aren't actually the ones we fight against. They're the ones we simply stop noticing. When a new condition enters your reality, normalization happens incredibly quietly. There's no announcement, no clear transition. It arrives, it stays, and your environment shifts without ever triggering your defense mechanisms.
Modern systems don't really rely on force, because force creates resistance. Instead, they rely on continuous environmental exposure. It's just repetition. The environment repeats the condition over and over until your nervous system simply stops identifying it as a disruption. The behavior remains.
If you look at the separation here, you'll see the change itself remains fully visible. But our human ability to detect it, to actually notice it, quietly fades away. Your perception just adjusts.
Part 2. The new reference point. Your nervous system can't maintain resistance forever. Constant resistance takes a lot of energy. So eventually, it recalibrates. And that leads us to the core question we need to answer. What happens after normal? What actually exists when the abnormal is no longer questioned?
Well, we stop measuring reality against what existed before. That past memory just fades as a metric. We don't really remember what uninterrupted attention felt like anymore. We start measuring reality strictly against the shared behavior surrounding us right now, in the present environment. The comparison disappears.
Part 3. The invisible shift. Think about the fragmented attention, the constant interruptions, and the noise of your daily routine. We shouldn't look at these as problems, but as things that just stopped feeling unusual. It's a descent. Step 1, interruption. Step 2, expectation. Step 3, baseline. An external disruption slowly morphs into an internal necessity. You don't just accept the noise anymore, you actually begin to require it.
Environmental repetition has basically erased our psychological ability to compare the present to the past. The reference point faded slowly enough that your memory just stopped protecting it. You lost the contrast.
And look at what happens next. The nervous system adapts so deeply that stillness actually feels unfamiliar. Silence starts to trigger discomfort, forcing you to automatically seek out stimulation. You reach for input before the silence even fully forms.
Part 4. The threat of continuation.
This brings us to the most dangerous stage of this whole psychological adaptation. And the scary part is, it looks nothing like a collapse. Life just goes on. Work continues. Conversations continue. Movement continues. The condition hides perfectly, because your daily routines just proceed without any visible friction.
Functionality survives. The system sustains itself effortlessly, exactly because we can still function while being entirely consumed by it. The dysfunction disguises itself as ordinary life.
It simply looked normal. And when dysfunction masquerades as just an ordinary continuation of daily events, it prevents any kind of coordinated resistance. Nobody reacts because everybody is still functioning.
Part 5. The final problem.
So this is where we bring together the human feeling of this adaptation with the cold structural mechanism stabilizing it. The root issue was never just the feeling of exhaustion, and it wasn't merely the structural mechanism of the system either. The condition remained exactly the same throughout.
The ultimate trap is to find right here, invisibility. It's when a condition remains fully active, but your ability to recognize it as abnormal completely degrades. Normalization becomes entirely indistinguishable from reality.
Nothing actually became normal. It was simply not detected. You just lost the instrument required to measure the change.
Part 6. The return of comparison. Prepare yourself for that quiet moment where your awareness is finally handed back to you. It's still there. The noise, the fragmentation, the unseen pressure, none of it ever left you. It just became your baseline.
You stopped measuring. That is the final realization. The most powerful changes in life aren't the ones that announce themselves loudly. They are simply the ones you stop noticing. The ideas are human. The narration is digital. Punchline Protocol explores how it feels when a condition becomes normal. Dark Side Protocol explores how that condition survives. DEBRIEF Protocol explores what remains after recognition. Together, they form Protocol Multiverse. Interpretation remains yours.